Hi guys, I'm going to shake this up a little bit because I get sad sitting there, listening to this stuff. And what Grace is doing is she's trying to create an awareness. And the reality is that a lot of these crimes that happen, they happen when you're in high school, they happen when you're young. Most of it happens before you're 18 years old. So what she's doing here is huge. And it's hard to talk about it because it's such a sad and messed up thing. And it's important for us to take that taboo and that shame off of it so that people can feel empowered to go up and speak. So I'm just gonna shake things up a bit because I want you guys to get an idea of what the numbers really look like. So I need 12 people in this room to stand up. So just 12 people stand up real quick. 1, 2, okay, that's about 12. So we have about 60 people in this room. So if you look around, these 12 people symbolize 20% of women who will be sexually assaulted in their lifetime. And of course, we have the statistic that 75% of people don't report it. So this could actually be a lot higher. So let's get like 4 of you to sit down, like 3 of you, something like that. So now we have 7 out of the 60 people in this room. That is young girls sexually assaulted by the time they're 18. Then let's get a couple more to stand up. Like Grace just said, it happens to men too. So 10 men of 60 men will have some sort of unwanted sexual experience by the time they're 18. And then let's just get 3 people standing. Perfect. You get the point. So that represents men who will be sexually assaulted in their lifetime. So the big thing about it is that we don't realize how prevalent it is. One of the things that drives me most crazy that I go around is who in here hears about breast cancer awareness? Sees it everywhere. More women are sexually assaulted than experience breast cancer in their life. So I'm gonna do a little icebreaker with you guys. Grace found me through the Rain Speakers Bureau, and she had gone on to my blog, and I had recently written a blog about how much it pissed me off when people would walk around and using the word rape, like frivolously. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to turn to a partner, and I want to give you 2 minutes, and I want you to talk about things that you don't make jokes about because they really hurt and they really suck. So just take 2 minutes or a minute. Go ahead, turn to your partner. Talk about when people talk about people being fat or being gay. There's lots of stuff.
What's not a joke?
Okay. What things that hurt your feelings and that they're joking about? I don't like it when people...
So think about the stuff that really hurts. Maybe that person who says it doesn't know that it really hurts, but it makes a big impact on your day.
How about you? Do you have anything that hurts your feelings? Yeah.
Okay, you guys can start wrapping it up.
I don't like being called stupid.
Can I take some shares? What did you guys come up with? Come on, guys. There's only 60 of you in the room. I want to hear from the high school kids. Really. I'm serious. I'll get in there. Come on, something. Has someone ever called you fat, gay, something? What do you got?
Hearing people call people gay or faggots or stuff like that, it actually does affect people, like sad gay people in my family. And hearing stuff like that affects everyone you say it to and everyone you're around. It's tough to hear and tough to put up with, but you do need to know that words you do use and say can hurt people. A lot of words do hurt. It's not just physical things that can mess people up mentally. Physical is a lot bigger than words, but words do hurt too.
Give Danielle a big round of applause. Come on, guys. I know what high school's like. It sucks. Right? People are talking about stuff all the time. What else is that? Adults?
Come on, no one's got anything? All right.
About cutting and hurting yourself or anything like that.
Do you know someone who's done that?
Yes.
And is it a serious thing?
Not anymore.
No, but it is having a serious
Yeah.
side. Does it really mess up people's lives?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name, sir?
Grace, give Grace a big round of applause. Does anybody else have anything they want to share? Yeah?
Me and my mom were talking about people jokingly threatening violence on each other, or saying like, I don't know, what's it? Jokingly like,
No, say it. You know what I
to say bitch slap that hoe on Facebook.
I called him out. I don't know.
mean? Okay, what are your guys' names?
Rhonda.
Give them a big round of applause. So the thing is that, especially in high school, but I mean, I'm 30 and my friends are just as bad. They make jokes all the freaking time. They know what I've been through, but they still make jokes about being raped and this, that, and the other. And it hurts. You know, she was talking about having gay people in her family. One of my best friends just came out to his family. He's 34 years old. And the reality is when you're young and you're going through things in your life, and maybe you're not super masculine, but people calling you gay, it hurts. It doesn't feel good. So like there's a lot of awareness coming around that and talking about cutting or making jokes about violence with people. It's the same thing when you're talking about rape. Who in here knows someone who's died of cancer? A lot of people, right? Maybe you know someone who's died of gang violence? Anyone in here? Okay. Someone else who's died from something else? Do we make jokes about people having cancer? We don't.
No,
Why not?
it's not funny.
Yeah, because it's not funny. It's not funny.
Somebody's suffering.
There is nothing funny about someone dying from cancer. It's the same thing about someone who's been raped. There's nothing funny about it. Nothing. It's, now I have to collect my thought. Grandma, you're so good. Doing applauses, and I'm like, shit, what am I going to say now? I was on a roll. Okay, so it's not funny. Yes, okay. So one of the things that I hear the most is like people using the term rape in terms of like violation. So like, you know, they had their credit card stolen or their identity stolen or their purse stolen, and it's like, man, I was raped. Has anyone heard that before? Are there other jokes that people have heard regarding rape? Specific ones? What do you got?
Being raped at the gas pump.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, by prices. You're being raped by prices. Well,
Okay.
a lot of the work that I do and the stuff that I look at, I'm going to be going back and getting my PhD, is looking at linguistics and, you know, the etymology of words and their importance. And rape is, I mean, it takes down your spirit, it takes down your soul. Someone is physically keeping you down and forcing you to do something that you don't want to do. I mean, we have teenagers in the room, like, it sucks when your parents make you clean your room, right? Right? Okay, well, we're not talking like that. We're talking like something 10 times more serious. 100 times, infinity times more serious. And the thing is, you know, we go back to, I keep going back to what is reported and people being able to talk about it. Well, there's so many jokes being made about it, and it's so depressing that people don't want to talk about it. And the truth is like what Grace is doing, like I am so, okay, so I get these emails all the time for the RAIN Speakers Bureau. I go and speak all the time, all sorts of places. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go speak at Los Lomas High School. Cool, you know, what's this little event about? I'm excited. And I'm talking to Grace, and Grace is like, I'm 15. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And what Grace is doing, and she needs to be empowered within her community. So you guys being here today shows her to have the strength. Because the goal isn't to just survive. The goal is to make a change, and the goal is to thrive in your life. The goal is to be proud of the human being that you are, and where you've come, and where you're going to go, and the things that you're going to change in this world. And the only way that that can happen is if our communities start being more supportive and stop making jokes and start making it okay. Because you know what? Things are going to get triggered. My house got broken into a week ago. I was a freaking wreck. Because the last time I was broken into was when I was raped. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my story now. But how many of you in here are under 18? Okay. How many of you are a senior in high school? Any of you senior in high school? Okay. So I was 17 when I was sexually assaulted. I was a senior in high school. And it was a Friday afternoon. I'd gone with my girlfriend. We, did some beauty stuff, and I got home at 4:30, and it was the one time of day where my house was empty every week. Because my mom had just had a little baby, my little brother. And Friday, she dropped the nanny off to the train station, so our house was empty. So I came home feeling all safe. We lived in a safe neighborhood, probably very similar to Walnut Creek. I lived in Irvine, which is in Southern California. People left their doors unlocked. It was known as one of the safest neighborhoods. And I came home, went upstairs, called my best friend, left her a message. And then I went back down outside and went to grab the mail, and I came back up. And when I got into my room, I was grabbed from behind my door. You're really beautiful. And I just remember that moment of, oh shit. I don't know what the hell sexual assault is, but I know it's about to happen. Basically, I went through very different, police scenarios. The police all came. They took me to get my rape kit done. The first police officer on the scene was amazing, Officer Brannon. It's been 13 years and I still remember his name. He's the one who drove me to the hospital. They were incredible. But Monday, this happened Friday. Monday morning, I was back at school. Because I didn't know, there was no other option. I couldn't think of another option. And what's really sad is that I come from a line of women being sexually abused. It wasn't until I was raped that it came out that my mom, my aunt, my cousin, my other cousin, all molested by my grandmother's brother. I didn't know any of that. And so I did what my family had done. I went back to school, I went back to work, and I was in mock trial, I was in theater, I made myself busy, and when I was on campus on Monday, the media was there. News people everywhere asking questions. So what do you think about that girl who was just raped at your school?
God.
Like it's, it's like Justin Bieber sort of story, right? Like it's supposed to be funny. So I get really passionate thinking about high school and my experience in high school, and the truth is that there's not a lot of space for people to come out and report. There isn't. Because people don't want to talk about it. They don't. It hurts, it sucks. It's sad. And I've just been sitting here and watching Grace, and I'm so blown away by her, and I'm so blown away by her community. And, the truth is that there's been a lot of rapes within the past couple of years in the East Bay. A girl was gang raped outside of her prom, right? There was something like that. There's been a lot happening within your community. And the best thing that you can do is to start raising awareness about it. Start getting people to share. And, Grace's scenario is more of a scenario in an older situation, but a lot of the scenarios is by someone that someone knows, a babysitter, a family member. It's a lot more intimate than we think. My rape was the myth. You know, you're jogging in a dark park and you get grabbed by a stranger. Mine is the smallest percentage of what happens out there. The reality is that most people are raped by someone that they know. And that's a big reason why it's not reported. So I'm just gonna close. I'm trying to look through my notes real quick. I'm just gonna close and talk to you a little bit about what I did to heal and the work that I'm doing now. I dealt with being raped in a very similar way to Grace. I was like, I'm coming out and I'm talking about it. And I spoke and was interviewed in newspapers, and I really relate to what you're saying about your witness impact statement, because that is where I found my voice as well. The gentleman who raped me was eventually apprehended. He was a couple of years older than I am right now at that time. So he was like 33. He had a wife and he had 2 young sons. And he had raped 7 young women in Southern California, some younger than me and some older than me. And he decided last minute to plead guilty. And so I was brought in to make a witness impact statement. And I sat in the back of the room, and I don't know, okay, so it was a little different scenario. So I had a lot of people going up and making witness impact statements, and I was one of the last people to go up and speak. And I remember sitting in the back, just crying, because everyone went up there and they were like, you, go to hell, you know, burn, die, like every single horrible thing that you could say to a human being, they were saying to him, because they were angry. Of course, he did a horrible thing. But he just sat there and he was a stone. He was completely impenetrable. Thank you. And one of the things that I knew before I went was that I had to forgive him. For me. I think it was you that said this. He had me for 30, 45 minutes, January 8th, 1999, but he was not going to have the rest of my life. And that is how I felt about it. So I knew that I had to forgive him. So I went up there, and I was shaking, and I was bawling hysterically. And I also remember it being one of the most articulate moments of my life. And I asked him to look at me. And I told him I forgave him. I said, I'm going to pray for your soul. I'm going to pray for your family. I'm going to pray for you to find some forgiveness. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but 76% of perpetrators were sexually abused as kids. So when someone goes out and commits a crime like this, they've actually been victims of crime as well. They just haven't healed. And the night that it happened to me, and I was at home after hours at the hospital, I was crying, and my aunt looked over at me and she said, "Why are you crying?" And I knew in my heart, and I said, I wonder what happened to him that made him do this to me. And so that night, and then that witness impact statement became my journey and my passion, was understanding this healing process on a much deeper level. Because there is a difference, victim and survivor. There's a big difference, and you feel it when you're surviving. Like, you feel the difference. But we're not done there. Because I don't want to just survive. I don't want to just survive. I want to live my life full. I want to be happy. I want to have healthy relationships. And I want to bring others up around me. So, to close that, I just want to say that it's a big deal, you guys being here. Because it's the first step in changing the paradigms of sexual violence. And to have high school kids here and families, this is your guys' community. Rape happening in your community is your responsibility. So if you want things to change, what was the other statistic? she was saying 30, you're saying 30 a month, 30 a month reported, right? 75% are not reported. So there's 100 rapes happening in your community a month. That's 3 a day. Your community. So if you want to do something about it, have more events, have more mixers, and I'm just really grateful that I was asked to be here this evening. It's a part of my vision and moving it forward. I have my own organization called Create Social Change. What I do is I socialize people to deal with trauma differently, and the community to deal with trauma differently. And one of my largest projects is that we pair people who've been sexually assaulted with artists to portray them as thriving. So we work with those people who've already been through the therapy and are looking for another layer to uncover. And if we're going to make some changes, then we have to really pay attention to our language. We need to really reach out into our community, and we have to really dig down deep and heal past this, past surviving. So just one more thank you very much, Grace. I'm super humbled and in awe of you, because this is a huge accomplishment, and you're accomplishing this at 15 years old. So I was 17 when I first started getting up there and nervous to speak. You stay committed to it, you are going to blow this world away. So please give Grace another big round.